Welcome back to Grumpy's Kitchen and Provisions. I'm Mrs. Grumpy, and this is a kitchen takeover. So today we're giving Grumpy a little break. We are going to make carrot cake. This is one of our most favorite carrot cake recipes. We always make this one. It is so good. There are no redeeming qualities to this. The carrots completely disappear inside the sugar and the fat and the amazing taste, and that's okay because dessert's dessert. You're not supposed to eat a ton of it, and having a little bit here and there is just what life is all about. You got to enjoy some of the sweet things sometimes and not feel guilty about it. Let me tell you what we've got. So in our bowl we've got 3 eggs. We're going to add to that 2 cups of sugar, and then in a little bit we'll add some of the rest of the ingredients, but just so you know what we're doing. So 3 eggs, 2 cups of sugar, we're going to have 3/4 of a cup of oil, 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla that I already have in this container. We're also going to do 2 cups of carrots, which is about 2 large carrots, 1 cup of coconut, 8 ounces of crushed pineapple, and we have our dry ingredients. We have 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt in here. So to get started, we're just going to mix our eggs and sugar real quick. Now we're going to add in the oil, buttermilk, and vanilla. Scrape and get all of that out. Baking is a more exact science than just regular cooking, so you always want to be as precise as you can with your measurements. We're going to add in our flour mixture next, but first we're going to go ahead and just combine it in the bowl it's in. Okay, so we're just going to put it in a little bit at a time so we don't kick it all over the place. Scrape this down, make sure we're not missing anything on the bottom. Give it one last. Whoops. Now we're going to fold in the rest of our ingredients. Anytime you're folding something, you want to have a good big spatula and a big bowl. Okay? And you come down through the middle, up over the side. You don't want to break down any of the volume that you have made in beating the ingredients. The recipe actually calls for a cup of chopped nuts, pecans, walnuts, really whatever you would prefer. However, we're making this for company, and our company is allergic to nuts, so we are going to do it without, and it is still just as tasty as if you had added them. 13 by 9 pan, we're going to go ahead and spray that. And then we're just going to pour this in there. Now this recipe, you could do 2 9-inch pans, a bunch of smaller pans, whatever you like, but it is certainly easiest just doing it in a good old 13 by 9. So we're going to put this in our preheated 350-degree oven. Total cook time will probably be about 45 minutes. We're going to set a timer for 25 minutes. Turn the pan at that point, check where it's at, and then probably go in 10-minute increments from there. We'll catch you back when it's ready. Okay, exactly 45 minutes later, the cake is perfect. It's done. It tests clean when you put a toothpick in it. So now we're going to go to the next step, which is making a buttermilk glaze. Then we'll let it cool before we ice it later today. For the glaze, we're going to get a pot. We're going to put a cup of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, 1/2 cup of butter, 1/2 cup of buttermilk, and a tablespoon of light corn syrup into it. We're going to cook that over medium-high heat, bringing it to a boil. We're going to stir most of the time. We're going to cook that for about 4 minutes or until it turns golden brown. At the very end, once we've removed it from the heat, we will add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Here's our buttermilk glaze. It's gotten nice and dark, some caramelization in there. It's going to be delicious when it hits this cake. You have the choice. You can poke some holes in the cake, but as long as it's warm, it's going to absorb this without any issue. So you just want to go ahead and pour it back and forth. Get the corners. Cover the whole cake. And there you go. That's it for now. We're going to let this cool down completely. Once it's cool, we'll come back, we'll make the cream cheese icing. It will go away until tomorrow when we pull it out. At that point, we can cut it. We could depan it and serve little squares if we wanted to be fancy, or we can just slice it in the pan and let people scoop it out for themselves. Time to make the icing. In the bowl, softened at room temperature, 8 ounces of cream cheese, 2 ounces of butter. We have 2 cups of powdered sugar and a teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract. So we are just gonna mix this up, get it together real quick. Gonna add some of my powdered sugar in. Add the vanilla in. We've got our cooled carrot cake, and we are just gonna plop the icing on. You could decorate this, you could add sprinkles, you could get fancy and add little icing carrots, whatever suits you and the purpose that you are making this for. But just that easily, doesn't have to be perfect. Cover all your edges. And there it is, ready to go. We're not serving this till tomorrow, so we're gonna put some wrap over the top of it, put it into the fridge. It'll be good to go for tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you have enjoyed this kitchen takeover. I'm sure there will be more of them in the future. As always, we are grumpy and grateful for you to continue to follow, like, and share. Remember, gotta get some grumpies.